Welcome back, everyone. Still working on this liner lock project. Got 8 of them here, 2 of them being frame locks, and you just saw me finish up the grinding the clip on one of the liner locks. This is a flipper, and I've got 4 small ones, 2 of them being Damascus blades. Now the next thing I'm going to do in this project is I got to come in here and cut the liners where the thumb stud can rest down in there and where you can get to it. I'll cut those, and then I'm going to start jeweling all the insides and get that out of the way. I need to soften up the edges in these. Quite a few things to do before we go to the next step. If you haven't seen the first part of the series, go back and watch parts 1, 2, 3. I think this is 4. And you can get caught up here. Glad you're here. Let's get started. All right, I'm gonna hold up right here. I got them all done, but I'm not gonna jewel them just yet. I'm going to wait till I get the handle material on, because I'm going to come in here and soften some of these edges, and I don't want to mess the jeweling up. I want it to go all the way out to the edge. But now it's time to start thinking about handle material. Actually, I already have. I've got all kinds of different kinds of handle material here. I've got mint chocolate, I've got jade and black, whatever you want to call it, mint, jade, and I've got some carbon fiber and sandstorm, and I've got some water buffalo and fake mother of pearl. Now, this is a custom knife. The customer wanted mother of pearl, and I said, okay. I gave him the price, and he said, how much is the fake? So he's going with the fake. And speaking of pricing, these knives take as much time as these. Just a little bit of length different there. So the price and material is nothing. The time, it's the same amount of time I got to do. You know, I've got to cut the lock bar. I'm not holding the lock bar here, but I got to do everything to this one that I do to this one. So pricing is pretty much the same. And I know that when someone sees a small knife and they see the larger one, they say, oh, I should be able to get that one a little cheaper, right? When you say little cheaper, you're talking like $10 or so. But it's not the material costs, it is the labor, the time that you're putting into these. It's not a whole lot of difference there in cost. Just a little tip. So now what I'm gonna do is start getting this handle material mounted, shaped. A lot of time consuming work here, because I'm gonna be doing some, decorative bolster where the handle meets, and it'll be a half moon. I'm gonna do half moons on these, and it takes a little time because you got to get everything lined up perfectly. They'll also have G10 underneath, and once I get them mounted and fitting, then I will put them down on G10, and we'll start mounting them. A lot of other work to do as well, like relieving the lock bar area. Let's do it. All right, now it's time to glue our handle material down to G10. Putting it on the G10 really helps strengthen this handle material, and when I go to relieve the liner for the lock bar, it will give me something, with a little meat there, because you don't want to weaken this joint. So this really strengthens that joint. Now, what I'm going to have in here is some solid nickel screen. This is some industrial stuff that good old knife maker friend of mine, Mr. Fred Durio from Lafayette, Louisiana, gave me this. And it come out of a construction project, but it is pure nickel screen. And I'm going to come in here and put it in here like this. It'll fit that curve. And that screen, whenever you grind this flush and shape your handle, it will give it a mini file worked little liner there, and it looks really cool. I mean, stuff like this, you just have to be creative. And he gave me this stuff, and I've had it a good while, and I said, this would make a good application for that. You could also use it as a liner, even on fixed blades, but I've done it like this, and it looks really well. It's probably about 15 thousandths or less thick, and but it really separates out and looks really cool. So I'm gonna get these glued down, but one thing else I want to mention, I've got my holes drilled in the bolsters. Now, if I just glue these down, that glue will come up through those holes and fill them up, and then I'll have to re-drill them. But you can get off that way if it's full of epoxy. So to get around that, I will pack these holes with Vaseline. And when the glue's dry, I'll have my holes still there. They'll just be full of Vaseline. And make it really nice. But the reason, there's a lot of ways you can do this, but I like to drill the holes in the bolsters first, glue them down, set them on the liner, and then drill these on the backside. And I do all this for accuracy. If you get off just a little bit, these are all 80 screws. If you get off just a hair, you're done. You don't have any room. You'll have a gap somewhere, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna get all of these glued up and go the next step. So now I've got all of the handles drilled through the liners, and then I went ahead and tapped them and put screws in them all and tested them out, every single one of them. At this point, if I've got something off, no need to go any further. So they're screwed up. Now what I'll do, of course, I'll trim the screws, and I'm going to put them together and finish profiling. I'll get it profiled pretty close. And but I still have to come in here and cut inside of the handle material on the bolster side where the pivot head is, so the pivot head will sink down into the bolster since it is a hidden pivot. you won't see it. And I still have to relieve the liner here, behind the liner rather, on the handle material so that the lock bar can move over. Quite a bit of work to do, jeweling, the file work that I'm going to do. I've got to build 2 pocket clips for these, and then I will sharpen them up and they'll be ready to go. But we're going to take care of that on the next video because we're out of time. Got to get a video out to you. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons, and we'll see you on the next one.